How's it going, folks? I'm Marcus.
And I'm Rami.
And this is the podcast. We try and figure out what this podcast is about.
And what we're doing with our lives. And $8 a month. That's the figure for this week.
We're talking about Twitter and Elon Musk's big takeover. It's very hot.
The singularities happen. Every topic we've ever discussed on this podcast
all came
brought
together
to the front. That's it.
Hope you enjoy it.
Cheers. That's your work camera?
Yeah, this is my regular setup. Yeah,
I mean that's brilliant. They must go. What a
lot of people frequently
suite.
ask me, which camera are you using? I'm like, it's an SLR. Like, yeah,
Like
I regularly get as well. It looks like YouTube. I'm like, yeah, does it? That's weird.
Do you use those headphones? No,
for YouTube or for work?
For work, you don't use any of that, right? Your AirPods
actually,
or.
Well, I mean, I could have it over the speakers and stuff, but I actually prefer to use AirPods still, even though I don't know, just because it feels more intimate, you know? It feels like more real.
Yeah, they're right on your ear.
Yeah, it feels like I'm really talking to the person. So I like using the AirPods, AirPod Pro 2s. They're the future. Yeah.
Worth it, right? Worth every cent, the upgrade?
Yeah, when they're free. As long as they're free. Like, I wouldn't upgrade from I really wouldn't upgrade from the 1s to the 2s. I mean, they are better. They're noticeably better, but not worth paying. Well, how much are they? $300?
$50.
Yeah. That's just not worth that.
Oh, a bit of
Don't you think so?
work compensated. I don't know. I haven't heard them yet.
I did. I was able to get them through work.
Oh, that's
Huge
excellent.
difference, though, between this and this. I mean, this one does have my initials on it. I think that's probably the main difference.
There you go.
One has my initials. One has a blue stripe. And one, the thing actually more than the audio, the best
lanyard.
reason to upgrade is not the lanyard, is the little speaker. Because I lose them every day. Literally every day I lose them down the side of the couch. Kids steal them. Don't know where they are. You just ping them and they do boop, 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 boop. Yeah, find them. That's the best thing about the new AirPods.
Seems to be a common pro. Everyone's like, you can now locate the case, which
you should be able to do that with your coffee cup. Like, it's 2022. Everything should make a noise, shouldn't it? Like I have them on my keys, I have them on all my bags. I have everything I have makes a noise, but coffee cups and I lose my coffee every morning after I've made it somewhere. You know.
How often do you lose your coffee cup down the couch?
I lose it. Kelly will tell you, I'll lose it in the craziest of places, and I'll be looking for my AirPods, holding my coffee, and I'll find my AirPods, and then I can't find my coffee. It'll be
it's in the fridge.
Yeah, no, but it's in the microwave, or it's in the bathroom, or it's I took it in while I was having a shower, or it's out in the front, it's on the the porch, stuff like that, where a package came and I pulled it in, I left the coffee. They should make noises.
You've got what's the there is a IoT coffee mug that does the heating thing, the USB heating thing.
Nah.
No. But surely that can do some noise.
Ember, you're talking about. I had Ember. Ember was actually one of the tragedies of COVID for me. I had an Ember on my desk at work. And I went back in after a year and a half. It was still there. No one had nicked it. But it was, the bottom had delaminated. I don't know if I'd left it on the whole time or something, but the bottom inch of it, I'd left coffee in it, but at the bottom inch of it had the inside, the enamel had come away. I was like, oh, in the bin for that anyway. But it was good. You could set it to the exact temperature, bring it to a meeting. It would last about an hour. I don't know how long they advertised, but it would last about one meeting at the perfect temperature. And I like to sip coffee,
You want to sip?
Yeah.
I was just saying, V2 of that, just add a speaker and Marcus is done. He'll purchase. Charge you double.
I mean, it's a good Father's Day gift or Christmas and stuff, isn't it? That does sound like a win.
Yeah. I've had a couple of them in the box and never opened them.
You've just given them re-gifted or something?
Yeah. I never quite, I don't get it. I was like, I can't.
There is a travel mug version, which I did get. The Ember travel mug where you get the coaster. You fill it in the morning and you bring it on BART and it keeps it at the temperature you like it at the entire time. I get that. That makes sense, doesn't it?
It's a thermos.
It's not a thermos. It is a thermos. And however you pronounce it, thermos.
Yeah, thermos.
You're from rural Ireland over there. It's a thermos.
Yeah.
I have to speak like that so Marcus will understand me.
Exactly. Didn't want to get my H's confused.
It's not a thermos though, right? It's got a little element in it, little heating element. I mean, it's a thermos with a heating element.
Yeah.
No, I can't say it.
I think I used to say thermos, and Kara would go, "It's not a thermos." It's a thermos or
anyway, thermos. So it's definitely TH.
I'm looking.
She got you doubting yourself.
I'm playing the ESL
That's step
card.
Step one in
the whole
marriage.
road.
Yeah, just deep doubts. Just ingrain them and chip away. Yeah,
that's it. Are you watching anything at the moment? Are you watching any Netflixy, any shows?
We watched Severance. I watched it again. I watched it last. I watched it when everyone was watching it, and I loved it. And I was saying to Kel, we have to watch that, and she watched it, and we binge watched it together. We watched it in like 2 weeks.
Again, double down.
You didn't love it?
I haven't watched the first time, so
geez, no, it's brilliant. I mean, people say it's slow and all. I mean, I don't know. It's basically what it's like to work at Apple or something, I imagine, you know? Do you know the premise of it?
Yeah. I quite like that.
Yeah.
Quite like any dystopian Black Mirror style, but very close to where we are today.
It's Black Mirror made over 10 episodes with really good acting. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Offbeat, it's great.
I just binged the 2022 Inside Man. Have you seen this? It's got like David Tennant as one of the actors. It's got an incredible cast. It's like English but with American in there. It's worth the binge.
Nice.
Bit of murder, bit of crime. Guy in death row who's like a detective, but then controls stuff on the outside. Solid.
But like fiction.
Yeah. Acting. You know, old school. Not just like nasty docudrama or nasty reality TV. It's just old school.
Yeah,
just
nice.
Great script, great British acting, and like
we'll give it a go.
Good suspense.
We are looking for something else.
Just one series. It's just a hit. It's
let's do it.
One story.
Yeah. Do you watch a lot of TV at the minute? Where are you at in your TV viewing cycles?
Ish. Every second night, maybe you get a bit of something in for about
every
20
other
minutes,
night.
Maybe.
Oof, that's a lot.
Is it?
Do you have a TV?
No, we've got an iPad, which is broken, so no, we just use a laptop.
Yeah, I bought a TV. Did I tell you that?
No.
Bought an epic TV.
Oh, beautiful.
It's a what is it? LG. It's in the basement, obviously. It's for me.
It's for you. Yeah.
An LG C2, it's called. It's like a gaming TV, but it's a 65-inch, 120 hertz refresh rate, OLED. Like
lovely.
It's amazing. Just sit on the couch there, flick it on. Have the news on during the day on it. It's a bit of a waste, but yeah, it's great.
Just to give you that kind of CNBC Wall Street vibe.
Yeah.
Just to give you that kind of like you're live. It's things are happening. You're working in a live environment
for this
downtown.
Podcast, so that I'm informed.
Oh, that's what so you got to I bet you it's not as big or as insane as Russ's TV.
What's he gone for?
I can't remember.
Why haven't we had Russ on this podcast yet? I was thinking about that today.
Me too.
Let's get him on next week or the week after. I won't be around next week.
Of course.
Unless you want to call from the desert.
Dream. I mean,
here we are now in the desert.
You should take your portable kit
on the motorbike.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
If you're committed.
If I'm committed. We didn't do a podcast for 3 months in the summer because we couldn't be bothered.
No, because we didn't have stimulus. But this time we've got content. We've got fodder. Are you doing the full GoPro? Are you taking content?
I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I think I'm just going to enjoy it.
Oh, it's pure. This is going to be pure. This is going to be your Vipassana style.
Yeah,
I'm
just
there.
going to go, be
unplug,
present, enjoy it. You know what I spent?
You
know what I spent half an hour doing? Maybe more. You know what I spent? Maybe up to an hour doing this evening after I came home from work. Came in from work, bit of time before dinner was ready. It was running late. Spent
wait.
A good 40 minutes. Yeah,
40 minutes. You took your toothbrush to the treads of your tires.
No, that would be productive as well. I feel like that. I mean, it's all. So I ordered, super embarrassing. I ordered like $30 worth of motorcycle stickers. I'm bringing a big like crate with me for all my gear, and to make it look cooler than just a black crate, I spent 40 minutes putting stickers on this crate to make it like with all the different motorcycle brands and like just ride stickers and like fun in the dirt and all of this sort of stuff all over this crate before, like a brand new crate that I bought for this trip.
Did you scrub the stickers to make them look aged?
And I was talking and I'm tempted, like I've got a new helmet for it because I don't have an off-road helmet. I've only got a road helmet.
You need to drop it. You need to scratch it up.
Well, I was thinking, and my boots, I do have off-road boots, adventure boots, and I've had them for years.
Yeah.
So they look broken in, but they're pristine. They're like, they're creased at the toes, but
quality.
they're like, they've never been dirty. I was so tempted to bring them down. Like I feel like I'm going to turn up with all this gear,
You're gonna be the gear guy who's just rocked up.
That guy who's like, he's bought all the gear.
Nice shiny stickers that are fresh, just on a crate, and you're just dudes. Hey, dudes, who else has got the Hang 10 sticker?
Hazel, my 3-year-old said to me, "It looks like a box for a teenager." So she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
I think she's setting the scene for the whole show.
I'll send you a photo of this thing. I don't know why I did it. It's just like pre-game nerves.
You're excited.
I'm going to be
You're
going.
excited.
I'm excited and nervous, like super. Like I've wanted to do this for so long, and I'm getting older and I'm getting nervous. So
Lifelong dream.
Yeah.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
If you don't do it now, you'll never do it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So I'm going to do it.
This is excellent, mate. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
When are you leaving? The weekend.
Friday.
Ah, right. 2 days.
Yeah, it's not so. Tomorrow's packing day, so that's what the box was for. Packing tomorrow, leaving Friday, back on Wednesday night.
Far out. This is exciting.
It's happening.
No comms, other than obviously Apple's satellite communications.
Other than Apple's satellite communications, no comms. I'm bringing a Garmin satellite phone thing with me as well, just for peace of mind. If Kel needs to text me, like
okay.
You know me, I'm like, if
Family.
something bad happens,
Okay.
I want to know about it.
Okay.
So
Okay. Can it stream Riverside? That's my main question.
YouTube, mostly just content,
Just for you to-
YouTube, so I can
you to
watch, so that I can
consume.
keep up my 2-hour a day YouTube addiction.
Good. Oh yeah, I like that you said every second day you watch 20 minutes. Ooh, that's a lot.
It is a lot of TV, isn't it?
Well, how much YouTube do you watch?
Not a lot at the moment. Since the sabbatical, I'm still being pretty good. It's creeping back in. I was up to probably over an hour a day is what I was on YouTube, just watching YouTube. But now I'm probably, I don't know, I could check it. I mean, that's 15 minutes a day maybe I'm watching.
Yeah. But bathroom breaks is what I'm hearing.
Bathroom breaks and in-betweeners, 5 minutes before bed.
Yeah.
I fall asleep watching YouTube every night, which is bad for you. But I put on a podcast. I put on like a video podcast or some review or something.
Yeah.
I look for something long, 25 minutes long, and I put that on. I fall asleep watching it.
You're like, after the laborious intro of what their grandmother did when they were young, you're asleep. You're like, give me the thing that's trying to maximally monetize and draw
No, it's
it
usually
out.
something
That's
I'm
the
really
stuff.
interested in. I'm like, that'll be a good one. And then I fall asleep in a minute. I literally fall asleep. I don't know why I pick a 25-minute thing because, but I do. And I listen. I don't ever remember any of it or anything. Yeah.
Do you listen to it through your AirPods or do you annoy your
I put one
wife?
in.
Yeah.
I put one in.
Okay.
Kelly doesn't come to bed at the same time as me. We're talking at 9:30 here. Like I'm in bed at 9:30. So,
Okay.
so she's not going to bed obviously for hours yet. So I can put it on for as long as I want. But I still just do it with one ear in.
Okay.
Not
Well,
off.
Better than, Cara's got whatever shows in the background. It takes an hours to get to sleep and it's just blaring.
She just plays it.
Occasionally. Or
That's
a podcast.
not okay. Oh man.
And I've like got pillows over my head going,
Oh, stop. Would she not just put an ear pod in?
So I bought earpod. We lose those. They're not charged. It's a whole thing.
Get her wired headphones.
We have those. They get lost.
Oh man, you're the. I don't know. I'm worried that you might be. I feel like we might. Like, are you? Is everything okay?
What?
Are you in a?
What's that?
That's the international symbol for I need help, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's that I remember that.
Yeah, of course you do. Is everything okay there? Do you need to order a pizza?
Yeah. That's excellent. Speaking of which, the greatest pizza of my life was at about 8 o'clock on Monday night, Halloween night, after we've come back.
Yeah.
We are a little bit tipsy from Halloween trick-or-treating.
Nice.
Kids is well past their bedtime. They're eating chocolate. We're eating nasty cold pizza that we left delivered on our doorstep when we got back.
You ordered it, didn't come in time before you left, and you just
No. We ordered it while we were out. We're like, we're going to need food when we get back. And that shared family pizza where we're just like in various
You were drunk.
stages
the
of
kids were
costume.
high on sugar. Yeah, nice.
Partly dressed, partly undressed. Everyone should really be asleep, but we're all gathered around the coffee table, binging out of the box. That was
Nice.
some of the greatest takeaway pizza.
I love it.
It
I
was
love
excellent.
it.
It was
Yeah.
excellent.
So how was Halloween? What you do?
Halloween's the greatest. Well, it's fast becoming my favorite night of the year. It eclipses New Year's.
Oh yeah.
Basically from 4:30. This is the second time we've done it. Essentially, it's the neighborhood. Our area is pretty quiet when it comes to Halloween. It's not a block party. It's not the hardcore anything, right? We could go 5 minutes in any direction if we went to one of those.
Yeah.
Instead, we've got the family of neighborhood friends who've all got kids the same age. So it's about 4 or 5 families. Each of us have the same wagon, the pull-along wagon. So it's basically a caravan of 4 or 5 families, 7,
Going
9
door to
kids
door.
of various sizes, just doing the loop that we all do from 4:30 till whatever it ends up being 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, with a little bit of tailgating at one of the family's places first.
You stop off for a few tinnies at one of them.
We start with some mezcal and some some
mezcal's awful.
it's fantastic.
No.
And some roadies, and then once we're ready, off we go, and it's just fantastic. It just makes for a truly it's great vibe. It's great vibe. Halloween's just great. It's not about the treats even. It's just it's community. Honestly, it's the most communal
it is.
thing
it's great.
there is.
But tell me about the treats down in Palo Alto. I bet they're different. Do you get like actual candy bars, like full candy bars?
Yeah, it's all about the full bar. And you know the houses.
That a thing?
You go back to the full bars. We know the full bar houses for sure. Yeah.
We had one house that gave a little wrapped present bag to all the kids. It was kind of like going to see Santa. She had a giant bag by the door, and all the kids got to pick a bag when they came. It was really nice,
Solid. Yeah. I mean, as I say, our particular street was not. Our loop isn't incredible, but it's enough. It's just lovely, and you get to meet the neighbours and see everyone, and our crew is communal because we're all neighbours. So you kind of everyone knows everyone. It was just and then people start joining in once we're going past.
What percentage of if you're out from 4:30 to 8:30, are you one of those houses that doesn't answer the door then?
Yeah,
we leave candy out.
We'll leave the light on. We'll leave candy out. The whole thing.
Nice.
We end up going past our house as a caravan as well. Yeah.
Okay. Went in and raided your own candy. A few more beers.
Used the bathroom. The whole thing. It was very just super simple fun. I think next year we'll go to one of the more vibing streets just to get amongst a bit. The kids are a bit older, but for this age where they're all at, it was just ideal. And they're running mad into gardens, into doors, and doing the whole thing.
We got a lot of teenagers after 8 o'clock, not dressed up, a little bit intimidating. It's weird opening the door to
aggressive
16-year-old men, you know what I mean, who aren't dressed up, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it was weird. It got a little, and they don't say hello, they don't say trick or treat or anything. They just grab candy and just okay, no. Not about that life. That's too much. Was it like that down there? It's like that here. I don't know. I'm wondering, I feel like that might be a Berkeley thing. You know?
No, we don't have very few that level teenagers, at least in our street. I'm sure in some of the streets are a bit more. And I also think so my niece 14, she just wasn't. She was going around. She was seeing stuff, hanging out at the parties, but it wasn't getting candy and stuff.
But that's the weird age. Don't you remember being maybe not 14, but don't you remember being 12 and not being dressed up, but still wishing you were trick or treating?
Too cool. You
remember that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no. that you're too cool, but also you're I wish I could get some candy.
Maybe. The guilt from raiding the kids' candy though, which I did. Claire doesn't like chocolate. Yeah.
I think that's normalized here with all the. There's been enough that's. I think that's what you're supposed to do. People think it's actually you're being good to your kids because it's bad for them and all. You have to do that.
To be clear, the guilt isn't from taking it from them.
Oh, it's from eating it.
It's from eating it. Yeah. Just the amount of chocolate and pizza that I ate in one night and the next morning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's great. Halloween's
great.
And then the lead up to it, and then we're cycling around the houses and seeing everyone's decorations coming along, and the houses. There was one house that went all in on Stranger Things, and it became the talk of the neighborhood. It was a few blocks away.
It wasn't the one with the floating person in the driveway, was it? No, because that was on TV.
No.
There was one on TV where they did the Stranger Things. They do amazing things every year, but this year they did Stranger Things, and one of them they had I haven't watched this season, but there's a character who levitates at one stage, and they did the levitating girl. But it
definitely had some of that stuff in there. Yeah, had everything.
You'd have known the levitating girl because people are coming from everywhere to take photos of it. I don't think I don't know where it is. I think it must be in Middle America.
Okay. Yeah, not us. Anyway, it was all good. It was all.
Tell me about your decoration levels, your efforts.
We don't go that hard. It was just all a bit. We always have best intentions. And just lag. So I've got the Philips Hue set up all around, so they all become, movement.
That helps because you can just any season you can just turn on whatever color is the color of the season.
Literally, well, they've got preset scenes, Halloween scenes, spooky things that Philips kind of downloads for me, so it gives me that.
Nice,
mate. No, I'm not. We just every time we're going to get skeletons. We're going to start building up
a stock
of cobwebs. But
I do love that here that they make the effort for each season. I'm going all in on it. we had skeletons out the front, like full-size skeletons and little tiny ghosts that the kid made up in the trees.
Brilliant.
We had lights projecting ghosts and pumpkins. We did all the, pumpkins, giant 4-foot spider on the tree, like stuff like that.
Perfect.
And it'll go in a box. Like when we were growing up, we always had like a box for Christmas decorations, but that was it.
Yeah.
But here there's like a box for almost definitely
month.
for every quarter. Definitely for every, right? Yeah. Well, there's, between Easter and then St. Patrick's Day, and then you've got Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's 5 that have different sets of decorations, right?
Yeah.
Does Thanksgiving have decorations, or is that just Christmas?
I feel like Thanksgiving and Halloween are the two that have, because now you've got the hardcore pumpkins on the outside. You've got, because you're about to switch right now from the ghoulish, whatever they're called, the thing that you put on the door, to the lovely festive,
the wreath. Yeah.
And then so you go ghoulish, autumnal, and then Christmas wreath, and there's like 3. So there's a migration. The doormats shift. No, I think I really love Halloween. Tells you it's holiday season. Everything gets cold. It's done. Yeah, and I really love that. I love the idea that it
turns, doesn't it? It does turn this week every year. Yeah. Don't we get a blip in November of heat again though?
We do. Bay Area.
I'm looking forward to that.
What you pay the taxes for. You come back. You're like, ooh, summer. End of November. It's summer.
We get 2 more weeks of heat here in the middle somewhere, and then it's
Also, it rained this week for the first time in 5 months.
Briefly, people were freaking out.
Lost.
I mean, nothing. I mean, we've had such a drought here, but people were just didn't know what to do.
Lost it. The roads tell you how long it's rained, because everyone just goes, how do we slow down?
And the number of umbrellas. I feel like there's the ratio of umbrellas. There's more than, it's not just a 1-to-1 ratio. I feel like there's just, I'm like, it's not even, you've got like one under your arm and holding one, and it's like
people are packing,
it's drizzling,
packing. It's not set up for it, to be fair. It's just none of it's set up.
Yeah,
everything's
people don't know how to handle it.
No,
it is pretty funny.
It is. Tell you what else is funny: $8 a month.
$8 a month.
So good.
I don't get it. I don't know. I mean, not that I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't.
What bit?
Loads of it. One, do you think there's a plan, or no? Like I'm losing respect for Elon by the moment. Like I think he is.
Wait a minute. I thought you were rock bottom already last time.
No, not rock bottom. I actually always thought he was a genius. Okay. Like he is a genius. I thought he was a very shrewd businessman all along. I thought I just disagreed with like where he was going with his like bro mentality, but I was like, SpaceX, good thing. Tesla, good thing. Even solar panel stuff, good stuff. Engineering genius, but just like was never cool, bullied at school. Now he's cool. He's doing the NFT thing, crypto thing. But like when I saw like some of these texts as part of this acquisition, and then when I see him like saying it's going to be $19.99, and like you said, Stephen King says you should be paying us, and he drops it to $8 immediately. That's such a how did that happen? Where did the $20 come from? Where did the $8 come from? Was it modeled? Does he now he's saying that there'll be a blue check mark. If you pay $8, you get a blue check mark, but there'll probably be a different kind of check mark for politicians or something. It's like a stream of consciousness from him rather than a plan, and it's like
iterating in public.
Yeah. Is that, maybe that's okay? Maybe that's the way he is. Maybe that's how you do it. But like, that must be very unsettling for Twitter employees, right?
I mean,
or for anyone who does business on Twitter,
I mean, you could say that again. I think there's loose plans.
Yeah.
But I think if it came down, I mean, they've had plenty of time to think about it. If they just rocked up on week 1 and said, here it is, here's the outline, it's done, they're not going to get any of the value of doing what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Which is keeping attention, keeping focus, keeping in the narrative, making it seem iterative and feedback. And it is.
You think it's intentional? You think he's being a marketing? You think this is part of like?
I think parts of it. I
don't think he's. I think yeah.
I believe. I think parts of it are. The core plan is like, how the hell do you reduce costs and how do you make money? Yeah. And the reduced cost bit is pretty unsexy. The current discussion as of tonight is the plan is to pick 3,700 people, half the company, and let them go by Friday.
But that's arbitrary. Even the 50% is like, he said 75% during the acquisition. Then he came in on his first day and said maybe 25.
Yeah.
Now it's like up to half. Like even that is so unsettling. If you're,
I mean, it's a disaster. The incredible chats and there's lots of ex-tweets who kind of still got the contacts, and the chats going around are amazing of, the managers telling their teams to just do anything, just build anything, pitch anything, prototype it, and just throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. Just worst case, he doesn't like it.
It's
best case,
the best hackathon. It's like the best.
It's a company-wide sprint to hack and do whatever to get going. And like, if there is one, like the first thing you learn in PE is you go in there, step one in change management, lop the head off, establish yourself as boss,
take your haircut,
and he's doing the PE takeover pretty convincingly with some. Hey, the mode of operation before was X. Let me show you what it is now. You've got a week to do this thing that I asked for. Go. If you can't do it, the next team gets it. That's just all kind of weight throwing, culture changing, narrative shifting stuff.
He needs to do that. He does need to do that.
All of that stuff. And, as much as we're like Elon, Twitter was not functional for a long, long time. It was always the butt of jokes and has been bloated and has been sluggish and all that sort of stuff. And there was old guard and new guard, and people were struggling with how to make anything happen, right? So I think he's seen the arbitrage opportunity there, which is just come in and push, do stuff. And if it doesn't, $8 doesn't work, just like he does with his Tesla cars, he'll move it up and he'll move it down. I don't think he needs to model. And I think in many ways it's kind of, the modeling is overcooked. You've got the platform, you've got the distribution, you've got a brand, tweak, go iterate. The actual number is not the thing that really matters.
Why do you think the $8 though? Why do you think he's charging for it? You think it's to make revenue, or you think it's to reduce bots, or does it have anything to do with bots at all?
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff. So I mean, I used to do a bunch of verification stuff for like when we were on Google, and there is definitely like a thread in trust and safety where if you just get credit cards, then you get a significant drop in spam, bots, intent, all of that sort of thing. So it's not about it being a significant amount of money. It's just about having a payment. So you've got some traceability and fraud prevention. Fraud directly traces, because there's a whole bunch of KYC, the know your customer line of trust and safety, which means you now know kind of where they're coming from.
I thought credit cards were like burner phones now, though. I thought you thought they were just super easy to generate, and you could just generate them for $8, and you could generate 10,000 of them in an hour.
To a degree, but then when they're generated $10,000, you can trace the numbers, and the networks allow you to trace that sort of stuff, because that's part of their fraud prevention kind of setup. So you essentially what you're doing is leveraging the entire credit card fraud network, which is way more established than a social network's fraud network to some degree, in order to get going. Now, I don't think that's the only reason, but I think that is a part of it. I think it is definitely a signal to go, let's test the water. Sure. Where can we get money from? Clearly $8 a month times that by 12, whatever figure we got to yesterday, depending if you've got 200 to 500,000.
$45 million or something a year?
Something like 45 million a year of incremental revenue with no cost associated with it. But let's say you double or triple, maybe you get a lot more people applying for it. Maybe you change the meaning of it. It's not entirely meaningless, but it's nominal. So I think it is much more symbolic, much more to do with spam, much more to do with getting signal and starting the discussion of how you monetize.
That makes sense.
At the same time, to be clear, they're doing the roadshow with advertisers. They're doing like the 1-2 here, which is cut here and then go and woo them and reassure them. What do you guys want? Do a listening tour and ... Jason's doing the listening tour. So it's not they're going to get rid of ads, but I do think they need to complement it with non-ad revenue streams, pay-based revenue. Monetizing the top end makes a lot of sense for something like Twitter. Yeah. They're getting way more value from it than they're giving to it. Like they're paying for.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. He's burning advertisers in the meantime, really upsetting a lot of people. And it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'd love to know. Do you know what their ad revenue was last year? I mean, it must be in the billions, is it?
I zero idea. It must be something.
Twitter had $5.1 billion in total revenue, including $4.5 billion from advertising. $4.5 billion from advertising, and he's trying to get $45 million from blue check marks. I almost wonder, is it a distraction? Like that? Yeah. He can't be interested in $50 million when they earned $4.5 billion last year from advertisers. Like that? Wait, that can't be right. Holy moly! That's crazy.
I guess two things. One is advertising dollars was top line; it's not bottom line. Whereas this is net, right? It's done. So there is some margin discussion to be had on the ad side. But but even still, I totally agree. The plan here is like Trump style, shiny. Get them engaged in this thing. Everyone feels like this is the story, but the actual story is layoffs or structural change
Yeah, maybe
or
that-
a shift of policy or whatever it is. I really do think it is. Distraction is probably the right framing.
Yeah, distraction. But I wonder, I almost think that the layoffs are, I think the share price would jump. Like if he did announce massive layoffs, I think that would be a good thing, like honestly. You know, I think it would be, I don't even know if you have to distract from it. That sounds terrible. Like, you know, probably going to have to cut that out. But like, I mean, he has to cut costs and increase revenue. Increasing revenue by 45 million on an already $4.5 billion ad revenue just seems like the intern suggested it. You know, it's like, we're on a different level here, buddy. Thanks for your input, but like, you know.
I think it's all about how fast you can get something out. It's about pace, iteration, momentum, setting the culture. Let's go. There's no sacred cows, right? And you guys have talked about it. Let's go. I'm going to be the check mark is like the blue check mark is the Twitter. It is such a sacred part of Twitter.
But it's gone now. Do you care about it? I already don't care. Do you? Like, as in...
I think he's evolving it, and he can. It's just been sitting there forever as this.
But there'll be a gold check mark, right? Isn't that what we're saying? It's going to be $8 for everyone, and then there's going to be a gold tier.
Like, I mean, it was the longest running joke that no one had any clue how to even get it, and there were random tweets that you had to like DM in order to try to get. So it was always this like insanely decrepit thing where
I think it was manual. I think that's the problem. I think it was. I think it was an interview. Yeah.
Well, some of the verification stuff can. Yeah. Anyway, so I also think it's a good test. It's a good test of who'll pay, who won't pay, who's power users, who can you double down on. You can ratchet this thing up.
I just worry, will it be embarrassing to have a blue check mark now? Not worry, but like, it's going to be cool not to have one. Like Casey Neistat or someone will like not have one. And then, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, who's, you know, counterculture will be to be like, I still have 5 million followers and I'm not verified, you know?
Yeah, and like every pseudo-anonymous account doesn't get verified. There's no such thing as verifying a pseudo-anonymous account. So I do think it is for public figures and celebs. So like the amount of politicians and journalists and so on that are on there, I think they still need it as a business service. And I think if you squint and look at it like that original plan, which is to do commercial Twitter or business Twitter and create a business profile and charge them for things.
But treat it as a commercial then. Charge $5,000 a year then. And
I think that's the path. The path here is you open up that PRD from 2007.
Yeah.
Go, these are kind of preemptive business Twitter kind of accounts.
Yeah.
Let's test the waters there because it's a spectrum, right? It's not a business. No, you're not. Everyone's a media company. But it's, I guess, the awesome thing, and I'm just mainlining this because it's been coming for so long and all the chats, and now it's this public. It's like reality TV, but for tech PMs.
Yeah,
because it's product management strategy.
It is
in the public.
Yeah. It is. It's amazing. Yeah,
it's just awesome to
PM
watch.
reality TV. That's exactly what it is.
Reality, and it's happening on the platform that you're using to watch it. And it's just it's super addictive. It's super addictive.
It's dog fooding too, right? It's so. One of the things was he's getting so much data from all his tweets now. Like he is beta testing. I read something that said Elon is purposely now posting comments to beta test because he can see the live feed on his data in terms of where the bot's coming from. You know. Kind of which tweets affect more people, how do you make a viral tweet? Like he's got, instead of him just kind of guessing in the past, he's actually got live access to that now.
He can open up the dash.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can do it as part of an experiment, you know, but yeah.
It's unprecedented, right? Like the idea of being able to walk in and buy up a tech company.
The power there, like I'm nervous about, I mean, it's no different than Murdoch or Jeff Bezos. Or you know, but there's something that makes it a bit more, I don't know, like if it is the town square and somebody has that control over it, it is a bit scary, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, also there is some noob chat around the moderation, the content moderation TNS, which is what all of Twitter is and what all the logjam's about. Free speech, not free speech, and so on. And he's making the classic kind of content moderation gaffes that you do in the noob social startup. We're going to have a council that are equally representative moderators.
From everyone.
And like those guys get death threats, and once they get death threats, you only get second-rate people on there, and then the second-rate people get biased, and no one wins, and it's just a disaster. And
there's no disagree and commit. There's no like you don't get anywhere. You actually get disagreement on everything. It's like,
correct. Yeah, disagree and white ant, I think is the story, and undermine. So yeah, I think there's, but I also think it's so rapidly like iterating that. Doesn't matter if the first few look dumb. It's his company. He can do what the hell he wants.
I'm excited to see where it goes, but I'm also invested because I like Twitter. Yeah. So like, it would be it'd be an enjoyable roller coaster if it wasn't like my favorite news source. And like, it's like, please don't break it. Don't ruin it.
Yeah. Don't smash this thing up.
Right?
Mate.
Yeah. He might destroy it.
I guess I can't conceive that because it's been such a stable thing for so long, and I assume there's enough stable hands in there who know it and will be vested in it. But you're right. There's a kind of a reality there where it's just a company in the end. If Zuck can destroy the Blue app,
it wouldn't be hard to destroy Blue. The news feed is so important. Like just the content that's offered up. Putting vines in there or putting videos in or whatever. Like it could quickly become a distraction rather than Twitter is unique, in terms of it's not Instagram Reels, it's not TikTok. You go on there for a different itch, right? You're scratching something else. And he could make it more viral and more addictive and all that stuff. And I guess that's what the old management had to wrestle with, but that's a different itch,
Yeah. It's not clear to me he needs to flip it though. And I think that's the key question here is, does he need the price to go up, or does he just need to make it sustainable?
Well, how much investment has he personally put in? It's almost entirely funded by his buddies, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, either way, if he loses everyone else's, if he loses $2 billion of Larry Ellison's money, it's still on him, isn't it?
It's still on Elon or on Larry?
No, well, it's not a good look. You don't want to be losing $44 billion worth of it. Yeah.
I think he's under pressure. I do think he's actually under pressure. Maybe not under. He's probably not stressed out of his head, but I do think he's under pressure. Social pressure to make this a thing. They're all like, go on, Elon, go on, sort it out. Here's a $1 billion, go in and sort that out. And he's like, I'll sort it out.
Yeah.
Goes in and totally messes it up and makes an ass of himself. It is possible,
Yeah.
Running Twitter is different than running the other companies he's run before. This is not just an engineering project,
Yeah, it's a people project. That's been the chat. Also, he's not the one who was running the other one. There are very good stable hands in the others as well who made them happen,
Maybe he's great at, I don't know if he's great at picking a management team or not. I don't know. He's definitely fired the management team here now. Is he going to be great at putting in top people in there? Does he know? Another thing that worried me was this week, Tesla's top engineers met with Twitter's engineers. And I'm like, those are different people. The Tesla engineers surely have to be different than the Twitter engineers in terms of
the software engineers. I mean,
right.
The story's incredible.
Yeah, broadly they went to the same. They did the same, undergraduate degrees, but they're solving different problems, right? Right.
Yeah, that's
I did
opened up the
engineering.
code base. Show me the code base. They opened up the code base and determined that it was flaky. What part of the 10 million lines of code? The other was amazing, which was the edict. I don't know how much room. It must have been real, right? Where the edict went around to print off the latest week's worth of code that you made, and
someone
then everyone was printing.
Printing off
Laura.
for him to read.
Presumably to bring along and read the code. It was a kind of the implication was, show me how productive you are, show me who's doing work and show me who's not doing work or whatever it is, and come and explain it to Elon personally. So people were, how do I print code? How do I not make it black background? So everyone's sprinting around the building trying to get this thing to print. And then someone realizes this is a terrible idea because you've just released all of your code into the wild. And then the edict went out to shred all your code and just bring your laptop and show it on the... we can project it onto the screen. Look, turns out there's actually there's ways of showing this already.
There's different ways. There was an engineer on Twitter who had going in for my review and had a little stack of code.
Yeah.
Printed out with
following
a paper
orders
clip
was
in the corner.
Yeah. Following orders. I mean, there's some really... Yeah, I think she was the one I saw is the author of Oworth, one of the original inventors of Oworth.
Yeah.
And she Laura, I'll forget.
Yeah,
and
that's
she
the
was
one
like,
I saw as well.
Just following orders, just right here.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine bringing your code to going to your CEO review, and you're bringing your code with you for him to review it?
It's all about messaging, isn't it? It's signaling. Who's boss? What do I care about? What matters?
It's also incredibly impressive. It's impressive that he has the ability to do it. It'd be, because if you and I did it, if I went in and I was like, bring your code, and they brought it in, I was like, yep, it's code, all right. Yeah, okay, yep, 7 pages, that seems about right. Can you see the weight of it? Yeah.
You're saying you think he can read it and he can analyze it, understand it to a degree that...
I bet he can. I'm not sure. Otherwise, what's the point? Otherwise, what's he doing with it? If he can't read it and say, "Oh, that's interesting. Why did we do that? Why are we using this thing?" Or where does that connect to? What
Oh yeah, I don't think he is that sort of genius. I think there are different types. I don't think he's this sort of genius. He's not a savant who can look at code that's randomly brought to him and kind of divine. He's not. I don't think he's a coder for a start. Not anymore.
I think he is. I mean, he recoded PayPal.
Was the story. Yeah. I
think he is that kind of. I think he's one. I think he's the kind of genius that whatever he reads, he retains. I don't think he's like a savant in terms of being a mathematical genius, but I think he is. If he's read it, he knows it.
Yeah, I think that's true.
He's read a bunch of computer code books, and I bet he can review that stuff.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah, okay.
Why else is he doing it? It's not just a power. It is a power play.
Yeah, it's a flex.
But he's also doing it because I think he's genuinely trying to understand where this, why is this so hard? You
don't do that by bringing in random employees in the last week's worth of code to understand you bring in the architecture and talk through this. You start at the top. You don't.
I don't know if there's
random snippets of code.
There's a trust thing as well, though. Him saying that, I don't interfere. I think there's
correct.
He wants to wire into the system directly.
It's that
he doesn't want any buffer.
Yes,
and
he wants to
bringing
walk
the
around
code
the office
is the lowest you can, the lowest rank you can get. Yeah,
correct. I think that's the story. It's the walk around the office. I'm touching everyone. There is no BS between me and what's happening. So I think that's the signaling to everyone. There is no sacred cow. Nothing will get left unturned. Let's get real.
What percentage of that company do you think hates him now? Of his actual employees, people he pay, what percent? And then conversely, what percentage do you think are absolutely fired up and excited?
I think the entire line below the 9 he just fired are nervously excited because they just got their turn.
They got their turn. I bet there's some really great developers. I bet it attracts fantastic talent. I bet there are some people who are
just no holds barred.
That's where I want to go. I want to go somewhere where code is king.
Let's just build shit.
Yeah. We can break things. We can test it. We can, true dual track. We'll think of something on a Monday. We'll ship it on a Tuesday.
If the code base supports it. It's not just up to them or Elon. It was also up to their system. If the code base supports being able to ship it overnight, and I think when was
Twitter created? How old is that code base?
It's been evolving since 2004, 2003.
Yeah,
who knows when it got I don't know when it got replatformed. The replatformed 1,001 times.
Yeah.
It's just it's great reality TV that I can't get enough of, and
it is, isn't it?
Who knows where it goes? And he's absolutely douchey, and great for us podcasters, because if there's one message here, it's the first exec team to come in is going to be just podcasters to do it. Now they happen to be VCs and some operating experience, David Sachs and Jason and Al. But
okay, great.
Just the all-in pod came in as the exec crew. And I'm like, that is excellent news for us, for you and me, Marcus.
Yeah, it'll be great. For the next one, we're going to get Kanye's one. What's Parler? We're going to be the execs running Parler. It's going to be amazing. Nobody wants to work with Kanye anymore. We can do it. We can be the two who,
just the service.
Join the racist one.
I also did you see my note about ARK?
No.
So ARK, ARKK investment is the one run by Kathy Wood. Bay Area kind of counter investment has been going hard into tech. Now, her investments have gotten a bit smashed around. Anyway, they launched this co-thing with Titan, which is an app for ARKs, some of kind of alternative investment vehicles. And one of them is basically a VC fund. So you can invest in a bunch of stuff that's only VC invested. It's almost like secondaries, but wrapped up into an ETF that ARK is managing. And you can get into Chipper and a bunch of other cool stuff. And then today I got a notice saying, hey, you can now invest in Twitter through Titan.
Wow.
So they've basically opened it up. Someone has got enough, I'm not sure where the trade, it must be ARK themselves, I guess. They got into that syndicate and they've now opened it up as a secondary. You can invest in it and sit on it.
That's amazing. So it's effectively public again.
Well, it's there's limits, but
Limited.
it's a secondary. Like it's someone's PE investment, but it's the idea that you want to put your money where your mouth is.
What are they selling at? Is it above 54.20 already?
Haven't opened it up actually. It's a really good question. They even have the price, or do they? It's a really good question. So it's obscured. So what they do is it's part of the ARC fund, which has got Epic Games in there, Chipper, Flexport, Freenome.
So you can't buy Twitter. You can just buy buy into
the fund. You buy into the ARC Venture Fund, they've got a weighting of about 12% in that fund.
Okay, but still, so we won't know. How long do you think before Musk IPOs it again?
You reckon he IPOs it?
Do you not think so? He waits not even 3 years and IPOs again. Can you do an IPO? What would it be called? It'd be called a SPO, a secondary public offering or something. What would it be called?
A repo.
Repo. How long before Musk repos Twitter? Can you repo it? Sure. You must be able to.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah. I 2024, end of 2024. Depending how the market goes
he could
next
just
year.
flip it. Is this just the new? You take it, you renovate it, and you flip it. Is this the new billionaire equivalent of what happens in Australia?
This is literally the private equity model, just going from public to private and back to public instead of private to private to private, right? This is the same old model.
Oh, I'd love that. I love if he came in, did all this stuff, and then IPO'd it again next year. That'd be it'd just mess. That would be the ultimate mess. Like,
he would be a genius.
Trump online, get him back in, win the presidential election, IPO it, out. Peace. Fixed your town square for you. Peace.
I fixed it. I brought the scourge back. I'll tell you who is cheering. You're asking about Twitter employees. Some of them, not happy. Some of them maybe rude. Tesla employees are pretty cheering right about now.
Yeah.
They're pretty cushy, aren't they? They're pretty relaxed.
Why do you think they're pretty relaxed?
Well, the attention's off, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, because
he's not sleeping on their
much.
floor. He's not in their meetings. He's not putting that pressure on. He's squarely up in Market Street, sleeping on that floor and putting the pressure on,
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to split his time in future. It's going to be. He's going to have to not do what he does at Twitter. I think his passion is Tesla, is engineering, Tesla and SpaceX, and I think he's going to get a management team to run Tesla. Right?
I think his passion is like sorting shit out. I'm not sure it's like any particular. Like, I don't think it's about hardware or software. I think he's just sorting it out. And I feel like once he feels he's got the right team in there or whatever it is, it's on some trajectory.
He has so much power. How much? What do you think that feels like?
I can't imagine. I can't. Also, does it get to you? Not from a power point of view, from a stress point of view.
Yeah, he's stressed. He's a stressed guy.
It must get to you. He's been working up for this for many years, hasn't it? Right.
That time that he went on Joe Rogan and smoked a spliff, like, he was really stressed at that time, and he wasn't making good decisions. He was I think he was on the verge of breaking around that time. He was close. Tesla had like 8 days worth of funding left. They were making Model 3s in a tent next to the giant factory he'd built.
Yeah. That was the Model 3, that Model 3 run, right? That was that big one.
Like, he was crazy stressed back then, and he's like, Joe interviewed him. He's like, "You wouldn't want my brain. Like, this isn't a good thing. Like, the way I feel."
But this is different, right? So not quite as much as riding on it in that way.
No, I don't mean that. But it must be great. I don't know. Being Elon Musk must be pretty great.
I think you get used to everything, don't you?
Yeah, you get used to being yourself. That's fine. I just wonder how often he gets sued and stuff like that. Like, going around like that. He must get sued
rolling basis.
Every other week there must be a lawsuit against him.
Yeah, trivial
right?
or real. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
He must have flotilla. Like, as much as it seems like it's a one-man show, he must have a full legion, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he has to support him. I know it's not HR type people, but he definitely has a bunch of legal people, and it's right, like those.
It's not anything ending with R. It's not HR. It's not PR. It's not any sort of R. It's just there's no relations whatsoever.
Yeah,
but I think the hard stuff, the legal stuff, the accounting stuff, is probably with him.
Yeah. You'd have to. What a nightmare! It must be so. Imagine work anyway. Yeah, I think we've exhausted this.
I don't know. It's just we we were excited by him, then we were sick of him, then we just never want to talk about him, and then he's just keeps going, and he's back, and we're here, and he's given us what we want, which is drama in how we understand. If this is a tech/PM podcast, he's giving everything you want. He's giving tech PMing in public. The guy we were talking about, like, he's just joined all the dots for us. He's like, he's the culmination of all the things. If he did that while he had a Quest 2 on his head, we'd be done. We'd be out. We'd be like, well done. You've bloody...
That might be the next thing for him to fix, actually, the metaverse. Like, once he's IPO'd Twitter next year, he might have to sort out the metaverse.
Just buy Meta.
Yeah, I don't know. Would you buy Meta? We talked about this with Simon. Yeah,
the Microsoft buy.
Let's not buy Meta. Yeah,
let's not buy Meta. Yeah. I just feel like it's like the singularity, right? He's brought all of our topics into one head of a thing.
Thanks, Elon. Just as well, we talked about him every week, so worked out beautifully.
You should sponsor us at this point in time.